And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Heartgold. In the last episode, we finally became the champions of the world. And now we gotta do the post game. Well, we don't have to, but there's a lot of good battles that I want to do. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. This is gonna be a bit of a long video, as you can see by the time I'm saying. So yeah, just sit back, grab your snacks, and join me on rant about absolute nonsense. I was able to watch the Michael Jackson movie recently, which was pretty freaking cool if I do say so myself, but I have learned that I am one of the people that are actually really sensitive to like those lights, like flashing lights. I learned it the hard way. It was pretty interesting to see, but yeah. Cool thing though, I didn't notice, but they're making another Minions movie, which I'm actually kind of hyped about. Now, hear me out. I know the Minions, Despicable Me movies have been kind of going downhill, in my opinion. But I love the Minion franchise, the Despicable Me franchise. It's such nonsense. Anyways, once you talk to the professor, he's gonna give you a ticket. You're just gonna fly straight to Olivine City. And in Olivine City, you're just gonna, well, you could probably look this up, honestly. You're just gonna want to come back down here, and then we're actually gonna go on and talk to Professor. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Pretty much, he's gonna just give you some nonsense and up with your Pokédex, because he's too lazy to do his work. He expects children to do his work. He's violating child labor laws. Professor Oak is a criminal. Arrest him! But yeah, he's gonna upgrade your Professor Pokédex, so now you got the National Dex. And once you show the ticket, you pretty much you can finally access this part of Olivine City. I believe you can also access the Battle Frontier, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm not entirely sure if I want to do it. But yeah, I'll think about it, maybe to get like some certain teams, but who knows. But yeah, this is like a little side. This will be the first mission, I guess, of the post game. It's not too hard, so I'm not gonna really talk about it. It's just finding a girl lost here and then just battling the trainers. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking. Right now, as I'm recording, I'm actually watching this movie called Ray, which is based off someone named Ray Charles, which, is a pretty cool artist if I do say so myself. He made the hit song Hit the Road Jack, and the song that Kanye sampled on Gold Diggers. I think it's called I've Got a Woman. Those songs are pretty cool if I do say so myself. I did not notice until today, but because I know Jamie Foxx also did Gold Diggers, like the chorus, the Take My Money, that part. But Jamie Foxx also played Ray Charles in the Ray Charles movie, so I thought that was pretty cool. I just learned that today. Yeah. As you can see though, right now, I know I usually cut out a lot of these like trainer battles that don't really give us numbers, but if I did that, then most of the video here would actually just be me just walking around. And so, maybe this video would be the one exception where I show the training battles, even though they don't really give us anything afterwards. And also, I think going inside the boat is like a one-time event, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong, but yeah. But I want to showcase all the battles here, all the cool stuff you can do. Not cool stuff, but all the things you can do. But yeah, going back to the Ray Charles movie though, it's pretty good. Speaking of good movies, I don't know if you guys seen The Irishman before. It's a phenomenal movie. It is quite long, so if you don't have patience, you might want to break it up if you want to watch it. But it's with Robert De Niro. Shoot, I keep forgetting the actor's name. One of them is from Home Alone. He played in the Casino movie, I think. Anyways. But it's a pretty good movie. It's about this guy, Jimmy Hoffman, which was a politician, but apparently nobody really knows the cause of his death. Apparently he just disappeared. So the whole movie is loosely based off that. It's not 100% accurate, like how most movies are based off their life stories, but you know, kind of gives you a good picture of like what went down, what was going on, stuff like that. But yeah, if you like those type of movies, it's actually pretty good. Not bad, if I do say so myself. A bad movie though, like one movie I generally did not like. Shoot. You know what? I actually like most movies I watch, but yeah. Though I actually didn't like Despicable Me 2. It was not the best movie in my opinion. I think that was just a little weird. Maybe that was because I was kept comparing it to Despicable Me 1, and I was under the impression it was gonna follow like the Shrek and Kung Fu Panda, where the original was really good, but the sequel was even better. Despicable Me 3. Despicable Me 3 was hilarious though. There were so many memes about it, and I loved it. Despicable Me 4, it was a little worse than Despicable Me 2, if I'm being honest, in my opinion. So I didn't like it too much. Though I will admit I did enjoy the Rise of Gru and then the Minions movie. That was pretty funny. It was just complete nonsense, but it was pretty funny. But yeah. I remember. I know I'm just rambling on at this point. This whole video is just gonna be rambling about nonsense, but I did start a mini-series on my 3D printing playlist about fixing my 3D printer. Unfortunately, I still haven't finished. Mainly because I have a new printer I bought impulsively. I'll probably make a short on that, if I'm being honest with you. But I bought one impulsively because it was on sale and I've been using it. And I was thinking of, starting a business based off that. And I have some designs in work, but I do think, if I'm gonna sell something, I want to sell some stuff I'm gonna buy myself. You know what I mean? So yeah. Also been working on my Challenger, but the most recent thing I did, I have some stuff, but I was working on it a lot, so I wasn't able to record it, most of it, so that kind of sucked. Though I did learn a lot about working on my own card, which was really cool, and I really recommend, if you guys have a track card yourself, you do this. Anyways, back to Pokemon content, or gaming related content, because this is a gaming video. I'm not that much of a gamer. I know a lot of my friends, they play like, console games like PS5 and Xbox. Personally, I never had one of those. I was always I think the only console I had was the handheld versions, like the Nintendo DS, the Game Boys. I never actually had like a Xbox or a PlayStation. Well, I had a PlayStation 2, but eventually I got taken away because I was like a troublemaker as a kid. But yeah, most of my game comes from like DS games and Game Boy games. And nowadays it's mainly like Pokemon games out of nostalgia or Minecraft, because Minecraft is pretty fun. Though I am one of those people that keeps deleting his world over time if I don't play long enough. I really try not to do that. But I might start like a mini series, I guess, and then just upload it so I don't delete it, because I don't know. I felt if I keep deleting it, then what's the point of playing? But yeah. It's kind of frightening though. Some of these NPC trainers, they're actually same level or higher level than some of my Pokemon. So, oh boy, I don't feel like I should need to grind, but I don't know. Knowing my track record, I probably will have to. But yeah. But a lot of these, if I'm being honest with you, you can probably skip almost all the trainers here. I think the only mandatory trainer there's only one mandatory trainer, I believe. But as always, I'm doing it for the experience, the money, and this whole playthrough is just about beating up other trainers so I can steal their money. But yeah. I did. Oh, That's what I was trying to say. I did see the Transformer 1 movie finally, and I absolutely loved it. It wasn't the best Transformer movie in my opinion, but it was up there. It's definitely better than the most recent live action ones for sure. But I liked it. The animation kind of gave it a new sense of life. You know, gave us emotions where the CGI kind of failed. But if I'm being honest with you, my Transformers is always going to be the Transformer Prime, the Beast Hunters, and all that. I really did think they did a phenomenal job on that franchise. You know, they had an awesome design for the main characters and the villains. You know, like Megatron's design was based on the original, which was Pete and Optimus Prime before his transformation and after his transformation. That was pretty cool. Bulkhead. At first I didn't like it, but you know, it kind of grew on me. RC had a nice transformation, Ratchet, Bumblebee, and all that. Starscream had a pretty good transformation. Soundwave's design was the best in my opinion. Arachnid, you know, Breakdown, you know, Shockwave was really cool. And then all the designs were so cool, and the sound track, like the transformation scenes, the blasting sound effects, just the music in general, I genuinely loved it. And I remember just watching it over and over, and when they posted it on YouTube, I just kept watching it over and over again myself. The animation was pretty good. I'm kind of glad they didn't like force the human storylines too much. I know there's like some storylines where the humans were involved, but it wasn't like the main thing. Because like in the movies, the humans are like the main focus, right? But in the show, Transformers Prime, you were aware of the humans, but they weren't like the total focus of the show, which I really enjoyed. Because you know, the shows after Transformers Prime, they kind of made it to like focus on the humans and the pronouns. I don't know. The show's Transformers, you know, just focus on Transformers. Don't try to put your own agenda on it, you know. I don't know, that's just how I feel. I'm also just rambling at this point too, because I'm pretty hungry. Yeah. I have a caliper in my room, though I'm not entirely sure why it stopped working. It doesn't measure properly. I tried to recalibrate it. I think I recalibrated it. I'm not sure, but I switched out some components, but it just doesn't work. But I now use it as a box cutter because the edges of the calipers are pretty sharp. So there was a time where I did drive up to go to Michigan for a school thing, and as we're going there, I think we passed Nevada, I believe, was our first stop, which was a pretty long drive. But yeah, that was the first place I remember it because it was the first time I saw a gas station that says, "Welcome, you're in the middle of nowhere." I thought that was pretty funny myself. But yeah. But I don't know. It was nice exploring, you know, the state and the country, driving those long empty roads. It was pretty nice. I really enjoyed it very much. Would I do it again? Absolutely. I would love to go on another road trip. Though I'll probably rent a car and not use my own car because the mileage is gonna kill me. Plus, you know, usually if I go on a road trip, I probably go with my friends. You know, so I'm not gonna. I guess I can go on a road trip myself. But I don't know if I want to. But yeah, I've been on Facebook Marketplace looking for a car, but I don't know. I've seen so many videos of like people getting scammed, so I don't know. I haven't been too enthusiastic about it. Well, I mean, I'll still do it though. But not as frequent. I do need to get new tires though. There's a crack on mine. I'll probably post it in a separate video to talk about it. Oh yeah, I have a friend who recently got a job, and I'm so proud because I've been getting, I've been trying to say, hey, you need a job, like, for 3 whole years. And 3 whole years later, my friend finally got a job. I don't know why I told you that. But yeah. Okay. I was yapping so much, I don't even know where I'm at right now. Oh, that's right. Okay, so now, since we talked to the guy near the generator, if you come back here, you can talk to him again, and then he'll battle you, which is weird because it's a grown-ass man trying to fight a 10, 11-year-old boy with animals. I don't know if that's considered child abuse or if that's considered animal abuse. Well, yeah. But yeah. I started watching this anime called Boruto because one of my favorite anime growing up was Naruto. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I am not the fan of Boruto. It just doesn't capture the same magic as Naruto. And maybe it's because I'm obviously comparing it, because it's based off Naruto, so I'm obviously gonna have some bias towards it. But some of the animation scenes were just so, I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan. Though I did see some clips and some episodes already. The few episodes I do like it has the original characters like Naruto and Sasuke and Shikamaru and all that. Though they did my boy Carl dirty. That ugly haircut. What is that? That's like that Hitler haircut. He just needs a mustache. Oh boy. Live talk here. I know a few people I've met across. They're the type, they're very materialistic type, and that's who you already know. I'm not gonna stop you from being who you are, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of hardware. Like I have some friends, or I guess acquaintances who are very materialistic, always gets a new phone every year, which I personally think it's a waste of money. Because most times it's just the camera that gets upgraded or whatever, or they market it like that. But at the end of the day, your phone is just gonna call for communications, right? But their logic is like, I need to have clear screens and all that, and I personally don't understand, But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a waste of money and a waste of time, You can buy something like a phone, like that for a few years, it works fine. You don't need a new phone. You want a new phone. You don't need a new phone, I mean, maybe fun of like give yourself an upgrade like a few years later, like hey, yeah, go for it, If your phone that's like 5 years old and you just want to upgrade, treat yourself, go treat yourself. Or if you need a phone because it doesn't work, you need to upgrade it, yeah, but if you're just buying a phone just because you want a new phone, and your existing phone is perfectly fine, then what's the point? That's just a waste of money, right? I guess you can see the same thing about like buying cars. I'm a little bit different, But I guess for the Challenger iPhone, the track car, it was mainly a gift to myself for the hard work, like a good job gift from But I still stand by what I say about buying new phones here and there, or buying things just to say, oh, it's new, when you don't really need it. I'm not the best at saving, investing money. I have my faults too, This past weekend I spent everything on like Uber Eats because I was so lazy to cook, I'm not a saint here, but I try to manage my money wisely. Keyword is try to manage my money wisely. No, but yeah. Uh, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I saw Shrek in 4DX. That was pretty freaking cool. The seats are moving. They got a water. Well, I hope it was water that was squirting everywhere. They got a smoke show going on, and that was freaking awesome. Like the seat moved, but it wasn't like to the point where you're gonna spill everything. But you definitely felt it, and I loved it. But the funniest thing that happened in the movie theater was I guess somebody brought a toddler in the movie theater, and in my opinion, if you're gonna bring a toddler, no, like spend the money for a babysitter, like hand it off to like a relative, because that toddler's gonna make a noise in the theaters, like they're gonna make a noise. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, so they brought a kid, like a baby kid, and the baby, starts crying at the dragon scene when Donkey like first finds the dragon, and then some woman on the other like girl behind her kept saying like shush, shush, right? And then like 10-20 minutes later it goes again, during this 10-20 minutes the baby just keeps going up louder and louder. The woman behind her keeps telling her shush. And eventually, I guess this woman like had enough where the woman literally yells at the baby, "Shut up!" Oh, that was the highlight of the movie, and everybody was laughing because it was it was at the same moment where Shrek did that like meme face, where he's like, "Ooh." Oh, but it was hilarious. But yeah. In my opinion, maybe it's because I don't have kids yet, but if you're gonna bring a baby to like movie theater, I would say don't, they're gonna make noise, Maybe when they're like a few years old, like 4 or 5, maybe you can come in. But when they're still a toddler, like no, they're gonna be, crying. Stay home with them, take care of them, watch movies at home if you want to, Now, if it's going to the airport, I have more sympathy because you can't really control that. Like, what if you have to go visit someone in an emergency, right? Or you don't want to leave your baby behind, Yeah, you gotta take them, And people are more lenient in the airport, But if you take your baby to like a movie theater, no, I don't have any sympathy anymore because you made that choice. Your baby's gonna make a ruckus in the theater. You're being selfish at that point, I don't know. It's definitely kind of weird. But yeah. I also a movie similar to Ray and Michael movie. If you haven't seen the movie Whiplash, I would highly recommend it. It's a pretty gosh darn good movie. It's a pretty short movie, and you can definitely tell the budget was very limited. There's not like crazy scenes or anything, or like there's like one crazy scene, but it's a very limited crazy scene. But it was a really good movie, and the ending was so. I liked the ending. It was definitely an interesting ending because there was this scene. I don't want to spoil it for you, but let's be honest, not a lot of people watch my videos, so I don't care. There's this scene where the main character is playing the song Whiplash or Caravan, I think. And you see the dad of the character, he's proud, but then you see his smile kind of fade away, and in my head, I'm assuming, he's frowning because he now realizes, what type of obsession, is taking over his boy, And it's kind of scary, seeing that type of obsession and control someone's life, That's why, I think good work-life balance is really important. You can strive to be the most successful person you want to be, but, what's the point of being successful if you don't have anyone to share that success with, If you don't got any loved ones, if you don't got any family, friends, you don't need like a whole bunch of friends, you just need your day ones, the people closest to you, people, are family, You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have family or friends, you got nothing. It's gonna be an old person, behind you. That's not real, though. That's pathetic, But it's money is good to have. They're just saying money doesn't buy happiness. I can agree and disagree. Like money can help buy happiness. Help, buy the stuff you want, get the life you want. Support the family you have, but it won't always make you happy. You can have, for example, if you have all the money but you're alone, you can't really be happy. You know what I mean? You can buy happiness temporarily, but you ain't gonna be happy. You ain't gonna be more happy than a man who has like a loving family. You know what I mean? But I don't know why I'm yapping about this. Well, maybe that's because I don't have much to talk about. But yeah, I thought that was a little interesting conversation. But yeah. Right. So, but I do like. Maybe I should start designing again. Like really, really designing stuff. I know I designed stuff from RC card, but I deleted some of the videos mainly because I wasn't happy with the quality and the stuff the video looked like overall. So I deleted them. I only kept one of my RC videos, but almost all of them I deleted it. I do think I want to start posting more. Yeah. I should probably actually do it instead of just keep saying I want to if I want to. So I'll probably plan it out, see what I can do. Oh, Cherubi. It's been a while since we. I think Cherubi is actually a Gen 4 Pokemon, so I am right about this. Cherubi is our first Gen 4 Pokemon, which is awesome. Cherubi itself is a pretty bad Pokemon, but seeing Gen 4 Pokemon, no, that's a nice view. We got about less than 3. About 3 minutes and some change left. So the video is almost over, so if you're still around here, I do appreciate it. So I do admit it's kind of hard to stay motivated to post some videos. When I see like how the videos are doing, it's kind of discouraging at times. But at the end of the day, I guess for me, I like posting videos that I know I'm gonna watch. Right, so maybe sometimes it's a long video, like so romantic, Pokemon video like this, or it could be something silly like a video into many card video. Those are the videos I like to watch. So, I guess that's what keeps me going. Yeah. This is a Gen 3 Pokemon. Gen 3 is a good Pokemon. I know a lot of people like Gen 3, but personally, Gen 4 is my favorite Gen. So, I don't know. I have been eating a lot of fruits lately with something called tahini. And if you never had it before, you are seriously missing out, my friends. Though I will admit it does upset me for some reason. So, eat with caution, I tell you. I've been trying to make my own elote recently. I believe elote is like, it has corn, it has cheese, and mayo, and some other stuff. Some people put chili in it, I think. It's really good, and I would highly recommend you buy it from them or if you're so. I personally like eating street food because sometimes it's good, but it is sometimes a gamble because you don't know how sad it is so much. So do your own research, make sure you're clean and all that, because you don't want to get food poisoning. It's pretty bad. But yeah, the video is almost over. I'm just gonna fight this last trainer. And besides that, I don't think I have much else to say, except, I hope everyone's day is going well. I know there are days where it feels like it's the end of the world, but everyone's going through that, man. No one's special. You gotta make yourself special. It's what you do in the times of defeat that defines you as a person, not in the times of victory. Yes, it's corny, but it's true. Shows your character. But yeah, anyways, okay, for real though, I don't think there's much else I want to do because this video is already pretty long. Mainly because I didn't want to edit anything, so I think we'll head up to here, which will lead us to Saffron City. Once I tell you Saffron City, and then we'll call it a day. And then I'll see you guys in the next episode. So I hope I see you guys there, or I hope you guys watch it. Alright, bye.